Meanwhile, a recent resolution adopted by the Republican Attorneys General Association is calling on a state's AG to investigate and prosecute organizations that provide aid or funding to Hamas. So here to talk about it is Kansas Attorney General Reyes. Appreciate you coming on. He's leading that resolution. He's also the newly elected chairman of the Republican Attorneys General Association. So I want to ask you this. This resolution is so important. And why are these state attorney generals, why should they be up there on the legal front and getting this thing done?
Thanks so much. First of all, just really quickly, I represent the great state of Utah and am proud to be the chairman incoming for the Republican Attorneys General Association. This was the first act of my chairmanship and was proud that it was passed unanimously by my colleagues to show support for our longstanding and dear ally Israel. The importance of our ability to be able to investigate and potentially prosecute organizations that directly or indirectly support known terrorist organizations like Hamas or others is critical. I think that we have to be able to, on a domestic front, show our support, not just in words, not just through our prayers, but through action. So that was one of the important components of the resolution, in addition to decrying the horrific attacks by Hamas on October 7th and recognizing the right of Israel to defend herself. In addition, we called out and denounced the rise of anti-Semitic activity all throughout these college campuses that we see. It's shocking, I think, to many Americans to see such vitriol and such hatred aimed towards Israel.
You took to Twitter celebrating this new role. I'm going to quote from you here. In less than 48 hours, my state AG colleagues passed a unanimous resolution supporting Israel in the wake of the horrific terrorist attacks by Hamas and sent a letter signed by 26 state AGs asking for aid for our U.S. Congress. But I want to also move on to this. President Biden said this about Gaza. I want to play that soundbite for you.
I made it clear to the Israelis, I think it's a big mistake for them to think they're going to occupy Gaza and maintain Gaza. I don't think that works. And so I think you're going to see efforts to bring along, well, I shouldn't go into any more because that's been things I've been negotiating with Arab countries and others about what the next steps are.
So your thoughts there on that soundbite?
You know, there are deep and complex geopolitical issues that surround that area. This we know. Israel is the only liberal democracy there in the area. I don't think our resolution or our letter intended to try to unpack millennia of distrust and problems from a number of different interests. Really, our focus, and I want to emphasize this in as strong as words as I possibly can, if Hamas would release hostages unconditionally, if Hamas would cease its attacks on Israel, love this. If Hamas puts down its weapons, there would be peace. If Israel puts down her weapons, there would be no Israel. That is what people don't understand. This is an existential issue for our friends in Israel. They're surrounded by enemies, some of whom have an avowed and stated policy to eradicate Israel and her people, to annihilate them, to wipe them off the face of the earth. Every nation has a right to defend herself. They have territorial integrity. They have political independence from the United Nations Charter. These are the things that we should be talking about to help support Israel. That's why aid is needed. I'm glad that there's a ceasefire potentially brokered here so hostages can be released. I'm so glad that humanitarian aid could get into Gaza. There are innocent people on all sides of this issue, but we have to stand strong with Israel in her right to defend herself.
You're right. Attorney General Reyes, I have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Apologize for the mistake off the top.